Hello and welcome to Pixel Perfect, episode 48. My name is Okada, and last week we started all the Ficsmas stuff. We got ourselves a snowman and some candy canes and all the other cool stuff going. Now, of course, there is still a ton to do, and we did knock out a bunch of it in live stream on previous weekend. And unfortunately, we really didn't have time to go over what was done in the live stream. So we're going to, in brief, cover kind of what was done, but we're not going to dwell on it too much because it was mostly just setting up some basic manufacturing based off the things that we had already unlocked. Now today, we want to focus on actually getting a Christmas-themed production area up and running. We're going to focus less on the actual progress in the unlock tree of Ficsmas and more on the aesthetics of the areas in which we will be producing everything. Because I don't just want everything to be sitting out in a yard or, in our case, sitting out in the desert. No, we need to do something a little bit more august, a little bit more on brand. Yeah, you know, that's the way we are here, right? We don't just shortcut everything. Like, even though we have our yard, you know, we've cleaned it up a bit. And yes, we are still part of the intro and we are leaving the house because honestly, we got a lot to get done today and I don't really have time. I don't have time to split this into the before and after the brand, although we will still do the brand. Nope, what we're gonna do before we leave is we're gonna unlock the next day because we need this ornament bundle and that is all we're gonna do. All right, I'm going to head to the job site. I still got to fix my inventory and stock up the train. And we just got so much to do that that's where we're going to start. So I will catch you guys at the job site. All right, here we are back at the site where we were doing the assembly director systems. And you can see we have a new hypertube. That's taking us to the site that we worked on during the live stream. Now, again, it looks like there's a little lot done here, and it's really mostly infrastructure. You know, we got through the grind that was necessary to get the gift trees up and running, but this still is not up to scale. I do want to go over real quick, like, you know, just kind of how things are functioning, you know, the machines, what's necessary, and whatnot, just to get you guys up to speed. And you know, I realized that we didn't unlock the next tier that we picked up the ornament for. That's all right, we can do that here. But it's not our primary focus at the moment. So all we have here, real quick, like, is just some very basic manufacturing of the three smaller items, I guess we'd call them, the lesser need things. So like the bows, candy canes, and the snow. We're not so focused on those right now, so we just have one machine on each and some dedicated trees. And here we have focused entirely on making branches because right now our main thing is that we need more of these gift trees. And if you see the recipe below, it takes 100 branches, 50 gifts, and it takes 20 of the iron and copper ornaments. And those, of course, were a thing that we didn't build last time either, though I believe we unlocked them. Simply, it is the blue ornaments, which come out of a regular smelter, gifts straight to blue. And then some iron, smelted iron coming in, some ingots. And that's all it takes to make the iron ornaments, as well as the copper ornaments, which of course use copper instead, but it's the same scheme. And during the live stream, we also set up some blueprints so that we can cookie cutter these out, which is going to be nice because, again, this is something that really kind of ramps up the scale. Now, this giant platform is temporary. I don't want to keep it. It was never meant to be kept. It's just a matter of getting the base functioning going because all of this is doing one thing for us only, and it's producing exactly the materials we need for the gift trees. And that's where we're going to start today. We're going to start on ramping up our gift tree production And in fact, we're going to ramp it up probably way beyond what we're going to need. But if we end up needing more, we'll be able to expand on it. And the reason we're going to do so much is because, again, I want to build this out, not just function, but form. I want to fit with the theme of Christmas, or Ficsmas in this case. And I don't want to just have bland open area things sitting around. So I'm going to grab, let's see here, that's probably more than enough. Some materials here, and I want to show you what my intent is. Where is, oh yes, we need here. Yeah, I left room in my inventory because I knew that I was going to have to do this. Thinking ahead. Let's see here. We have concrete. We are shy on iron plate. So when we were here, we knew we were going to do a lot of the regular foundations, and therefore we were going to need iron. So part of this line, you see we split off, and we got one constructor apiece making our rods and our iron sheeting, so that we wouldn't have to keep running back and forth. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually create a sort of tree lot, which is something that's fairly common, at least I know, like in the north, places that grow pine trees will have tree lots where you can, go up and down the rows and pick out your Christmas tree, and a lot of times, there's just so many of them. It's just unbelievable. And that's what we want to replicate. And if we look at our blueprint tab, every time I reload the game, these things move out of place. Get in here. All right, but that's fine. I'll fix it later. So what I've done is I've created a little one size fits all tree setup. As you can see, the tree is going straight into an item lift, which goes to a merger on the ground beneath it. And since this is just a 1x1, we can stack these pretty much indefinitely. And that's what we have done. So we're going to go with the 8X. And this is a strip of trees that are all interconnected. And, well, they're not completely interconnected. The two rows are connected to each other. So I'll go ahead and pop this down. I'll have to delete it later. And one of the things I'm going to have to get used to is lining this up with existing. You can see how it jumps around. It's a challenge. And I'm not going to be building it here, but I'm going to build this one here just to show you guys what it's doing, which is apparently just jumping around. In fact, I think I want to turn it around. Oop. I think it's going to the left. There we go. Okay. Check it out. Oh, that is so cool. I love the blueprinting. You can see the little ornaments and everything going to, oh, that is so good. And then we'll grab a merger. Plop it out here. And did I do it wrong? Oh, I guess I turned them around. Okay, that's fine. It's a demo anyway. It doesn't matter. I'll get it right when it's important. Give me a merger. Okay. And let's pop it out here anywhere. Doesn't matter. And then we'll run out of power range. So, doesn't matter which one I connect this to, just like that. And then these will all just go to wherever we need them. Storage or machines most likely. And we can just keep making these and connect them, at the waypoint right here in the back. So if I had another 8 of them, I would just connect that like that, and there you go. And the way the math works out is these gift trees, let's look at them on the build menu. You can see the gift tree produces 15 gifts per minute. And a Mark V belt is 780. That's right, Mark 5. Which means we can do 52 trees on one belt. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to do 2 rows of 26 trees and then merge them at the end onto a Mark 5 belt. And we're going to do multiple rows of this because, again, we're going to create a tree farm where, you know, potential buyers can go up and down and they can pick their trees out. And we'll probably do more than 26 long so that we can delete, you know, a tree here and a tree there. So it looks like, you know, a family has picked up that tree. And that way, you know, we add a little bit of theme to it. And we've gone with brown for the dirt on the ground. I know maybe I should do white because it's supposed to be snowing, but you know the trees are over it, so you know we wouldn't see the snow anyway. Oh, you know, that's, now that I say that, we could just paint white the ones where the trees are missing. So look, it's progress in action. All right, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to starting this, and I'm going to have to make 2 or 3 of these probably in order to ramp this up, because we're not producing fast enough for the scale of what I want to do here. This is a lot of material, a really lot of material. I think that I'm going to require like over 4,000 of each of the copper and iron bulbs alone. So this is going to take me some time. I'm going to do it all off camera. So next time you see this area, it will probably be a little bit larger. And you know, again, it's still going to be its temporary area. And in fact, I think what I'll also do is, let's just throw one on the ground real quick so you can, oh, no. We have to unlock it first. Probably have enough of all this. Let's just take a look. The ornament. I want to have some of this maybe running in the background. All right.
We're making a
here's
list.
what we want.
We're checking it twice. We're gonna find out who's been selling the spice. Ficsmas is coming to town.
Ficsmas is coming to town. And there we go. We have that now. And I just want to throw down like maybe a manufacturer or 2, and maybe have a little bit of that running. I don't know. We'll see based on, you know, how much of a drain it is, because I'm going to need so much material. I might not actually leave it running. But I do want to have some of those for some cosmetic building stuff. I don't need that. I need assembler. But I'm going to show you guys real quick just what the recipe is. I'll just pick this up in a bit. All right, so you can see it's just 5 copper, 5 iron gives us 5 of the ornament bundles. And of course, you know, like everything else in this event, it's just building up to, you know, the next thing, right? So it's going to continue. We're going to continue to scale up for what is needed next. So we will end up needing a bunch of those as well. Let's see one come out. And I think it said we only need like 10 of them for the next unlock, was it? Yeah, just 10 of them, and some snow, and some branches, so we can get ourselves these decorations, which again is another thing that we're going to need to be manufacturing, because we're going to need it for these. But I don't think I'm going to bother with it right now. That's something that we can do once we have our massive amount of gifts coming in. And yeah, I think that's all we're going to do for now. I don't need to. I said at the beginning that I have a lot to do, and of course, you know, we try not to run late in in how long we record. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out an area over there and turn that into our Christmas tree lot and try to give ourselves enough space that if we need to expand on it, we can later. And start getting that built. And I think that we'll probably do that in maybe a very short time lapse, because it's going to be fairly repetitive. It's not going to be a big building. It's just going to take up a bunch of space, and it's probably going to look really cool, with the blueprints all popping out. So I think we'll probably do that in a time lapse. But let me stop the recording here. This is probably going to take me an hour or two just to get this stuff ramped up and get all the ornaments that I'm going to need just to do the production in one shot. It really is big scale. There's a lot of material. So I will bring you guys back once all of that has been accomplished. And there we have it, a tree farm. As you can see, I've spruced it up, so to speak, since the time lapse. And I probably, let's connect. Just to have flight power, even though we don't have any reason to be in the air most of the time through here. And Mr. Bean keeps getting in here, even though I keep trying to run him out. But I did set it up for a user experience. We got ourselves a little factory cart. Don't want to go to the inventory, I want to get in the cart. And as you can see, we've painted. So this isn't meant to be necessarily painted lines, as much as it's meant to represent, guys everywhere, meant to represent vehicles going through here. So this is supposed to be, we went with the white reflective texture here so that we have kind of snow, and then the dirt beneath it is being revealed by vehicles that have been driven up in here. So that's kind of the idea. We got a little bit of snowman action here and there where trees may have been cut down. And we run Christmas lights. I'm not real good at driving this thing, so we'll be all over the place. But we strung Christmas lights. I wanted to kind of, the wreaths have disappeared from the light, so never mind. Apparently on the reload, because I had to save and reload, it's like they disappeared. And I put guardrails on there because I knew I'd do exactly what I just did, which was nearly fly right off of it. But this is, it's all up and running now. And yeah, I love it. I love being able to just drive through here, and it feels like maybe it snowed. We got the white everywhere, and just trees, and trees, and this perspective is just great. It really puts you down into it. And so I'm so very happy with the way this came out. And little candy canes on the end, and I did a little bit of these ramps here are just kind of like they're hills. This whole thing's kind of sunken into a hill, so it doesn't actually go anywhere. I'm not gonna cover the entire environment just to pretend that it's hills, but from down here, whoop, woo, from down here and driving in the cart, you can be forgiven to think that that's a hill, a snowy hill that's surrounding the place. So that's this part is done. We have now 4 Mark 4 or Mark 5 belts at $7.80 a piece, producing an obscene amount of packages. I have just no concept in how many packages we're actually going to need. I would hope that's more than we'll need, but again, I went to this scale for the appearance more than the function. and it's going to be nice to not have to worry about the packages. We just split them however the math decides, and if it goes on later to where we need more, well, we can tear down the hill and we can add another row in the future. But that is going to wrap this part of the project. The next part is, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. I mean, this was, a big scale thing, but there was a clear blueprint to it. And I have a vision of something else, and for some reason my pack will not let me take off. Put it back on, thank you. There we go. This needs to be cleaned off, and I want to build, I want to build Santa's workshop, sort of, kind of. I want a facility that has a Christmas facade on the front of it, but has room for us to expand throughout the back and turn it into kind of a warehouse that's a manufacturing warehouse. So what I'm more focused on will be the front and how it's going to present itself kind of to the world. And I don't really know yet how wide we're going to have to make it, because we're going to need room for all the different machines, regardless of what size they're going to be. We have, of course, smelters and foundries and assemblers, and probably we'll end up needing manufacturers. I honestly don't recall what the other recipes are going to require. But we're going to need a kind of a one-size-fits-all width and I guess height, so that we can build everything kind of in the back. So it'll be party in the front, business in the back. So what I'm going to do is, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to set it up here. Leave all this stuff kind of behind it, and start building out a facade somewhere around this area. I'll need to make sure that anywhere that we go, we don't have, limitations to expanding from side to side. Where there are any dunes that are higher. I tried to pick a place when I put this down initially to where it would be over all the dunes, but as you can see, we have a little bit of poke through here. That dune back there is almost certainly too large. So, maybe something like this will probably work for us. I don't think that we're going to go the full width of our existing platform. I don't know. But since I'm really going to have to play around with designs and things that I have in my head, I'm not going to time lapse this. I think I'm just going to build it and tear down and build and tear down until I get just the look that I want to establish what our entire building is going to look like. And this doesn't limit us. We can have it go back and then have a wing go off to the side if we need to. Maybe once we get past the front, we can have, additional floors that pop up further back. So, that's always, we're not going to be tied into one specific thing. But let me get to work on it before I end up eating the rest of our video time chatting about it, and just kind of show it rather than chatting it. So let me get to it, and let's see what I can come up with. And there's our workshop. Of course, you've probably already seen this in the thumbnail. I assume that is what I will be using. But there's a little bit more to be done, and I wanted to bring you guys in to show you a kind of a little build trick. Plus, actually get a walk around and show you what's actually going on here. There's a little bit of life in it. Make sure we're not being chased. So I want to get some snowmen down here. You stay, buddy. This is not your territory. Go home. Am I on you? I want to get some snowmen down here, and there's a kind of a problem with placing snowmen, which also is true in some other things, but you don't normally run into it so much unless you're doing decoration and you want to kind of off-turn things. So of course, when you put things on foundations, a lot of times they do a 90-degree turn like this. And maybe you don't want that. which we don't. There's a trick for getting these things to change their direction. Unfortunately, like holding shift or control, those things don't don't help. And holding alt just scrolls between your hotbars. No, what we need to do is we need to have an actual foundation that's facing the direction that we want it. We just kind of do a temporary thing. So we're going to use a roadblock. And I think we want, so this would be the snowman facing forward. Let's have them off angled just a little bit. Let's try two steps. And I think we'll put them back a little bit. If we don't like it, we can change it. So now we can snap to this. Just like that. Then we can place our snowman on there. So I want one there. I was thinking I wanted another one set back a little bit. But let's see if this is the angle that we want. Stay over there. I think I want it a little bit more forward facing. Let's go with more shallow turn. And where I place this isn't too important because this is, again, it's just a decoration. It doesn't need to be centered. I just want it in the area. Let's move one real quick. There we go. I think it's going to be a better angle. Yeah, I like that better. So we'll copy that over to here, straight. We're going off by 1. That was our final choice. Again, it doesn't need to be centered because they're, I mean, I know that's strange hearing that from me, but you know, people built these snowmen and they didn't necessarily use a slide rule to determine right where they're going to put them. So it doesn't have to be exact. In fact, you know, you don't want it to always be exact. You want it to have that imperfect human element. Let's bring it forward a little bit. Sorry, it's not Christmas. You know, I don't have to be in the Christmas spirit to deal with you. Yeah, I think that's... Oh, you're really asking for it. I don't think that we can... Well, maybe we can. Let's see here. Yeah, I think we do. So it should probably look all right. We'll see if it fits properly, visually. Of course, we could have one that's facing straight as well in the background. I kind of want them facing outwards. A little bit. You know, for people who are coming in other angles. Yeah, I think that works. I think we're good with this. And then we just clean up our temporary blocks. Replace them. Repaint them. Because it's supposed to be shiny snow, not blue, silver, blue steel. All right. So this is the approach. Now, there are probably going to be some other decorations that we're going to unlock. Again, it's been a long time. It's a couple of years since I did this event. So we used what we have, candy canes and trees and whatnot. And these are the big trees. This is the final project. This is what we're working on, is the big tree. So I don't think I built one when we first unlocked it, but it would have had nothing on it. It would have been just a basic bare tree. As we're unlocking things, it's adding the ornaments and lights and everything to it. So eventually it'll be a fully decorated. You know, next we'll probably have our star on it. And that's the progress of the event. And we have, again, this is meant to look like a workshop kind of out in the Arctic. So, you know, it's made of wood, so we got this wood brown, and of course it's, you know, snow. all over it, which is why it's white on the front edges, white on the roof. And we have a window with a kind of mood lighting, some red glow in there, like maybe there's a fireplace glowing. And it looks a little bit better at night, but you know the place is supposed to be tall, right? It's got a big steeple to it, and so that was really the only place I could put that window. I don't know if we're going to add windows here because production's going to be behind it, but we can add windows, and there's going to be a false wall behind this anyway. The reason there's going to be a false wall is because, as you can see, we have like toy lines. There's a production lines of things that are moving around the factory, and so I put them out front on a slow moving pace so that we can just add some animation, some life to the place, and kind of this is like the factory is sending things from places, so that worked out pretty well. Candy canes are a little hard to see. I might replace them with like ornaments or something. We'll see. I'm going to leave them here. I put them on the bottom floor because you can see them easier from the bottom. But we'll figure it out. And a couple of big doors for Santa and his reindeer to get out. And the reason why we're going to have a false wall is, as you can see in some of these cases, you can see through here and you can see what's going on behind it. We will have a secondary wall behind it, like here. I've just put up a little test version of it. And it's just painted the same so that from the front, you look through and you'll just, the background will cover the fact that you can see through those windows. Yeah, and as you can see, it's all still the same. I mentioned, like I said, the front facade is going to be the important thing here. And then we will build out and turn this kind of into a production warehouse. So I'm a little less concerned about what's going on behind the doors. And, there's still potential for doing things on the side and having, wings of the building come out and around. And to have, taller pieces poke up, somewhere in the back. But this establishes our build theme and the initial, width of the building so that we can just start going backwards. And I'm very happy with this. This took hours. I've been at this for quite some time. But I'm pleased with the way it came out. I would like to have these a little bit wider, but it's concrete pillars. So you can only paint them within the concrete palette. But I'm not displeased with it. I think it's fine. Yeah. So yeah, look at the little overhangs and everything. That took a lot of work. Oh yeah, let's look at this at nighttime. You can see there's a kind of a warm glow in here, and you can see I've cheekily managed to get power to the front in the guise of running the Christmas lights so that we could actually float around. You see, I even ran a line so that it looks like this is what's powering the tree, and that also helps extend our range because there's a power pole inside the tree. Just giving us something to anchor it to. But yeah, there's some light up in there. That effect took a lot of testing, a lot of different attempts to get a good lighting effect. There's false walls in there and hidden lighting, and unfortunately I can't do lighting from the ground up, which would make it look like a better glow. But I'm pleased with it. Here, if we get close enough, you can see the ceiling lighting. But most of the time we're going to be hovering. And this is running back to the train station. We will probably connect some roadage over to the tree farm. Yeah, I'm just so pleased with this. Let's get back to being able to actually see things. There we go, back in the light. All right, so that's going to be it for today. We are set up now to do some pretty good production at this location. But I really wanted to get this into place first. So I'm going to head back home, and I will catch you guys on the porch. And here we are back home, and we now have these snow generators. Unfortunately, they cause a bit of lag. So I don't know whether or not I'm going to keep them here. I really like them. I want to keep them. But I can definitely see frame loss when they're running here. But I wanted to bring them on here and show you guys. This is another cool thing that we have, and we'll see if we can keep them. But that's going to be it for today. we are set up again to go full ham on the Christmas stuff now, because again, the main production slowdown are gifts, and we are now producing an obscene amount of gifts that we can distribute throughout the warehouse. That will be the manufacturing area. So look for next episode to be dedicated to making basically just as much progress as we can. And we'll see how far we can get. I mean, obviously we want to get this done before the end of the year, and before the event is over with. So we can't dilly-dally too much with building, but I think that was the main thrust of the building that's going to be necessary at this point. We'll be able to kind of wrap around the building as we fill in the space. And then eventually, once everything is done, we have all the blueprints unlocked and we know how much space we're taking up, we'll be able to seal the whole thing up and turn it into a proper building. And again, we are likely to unlock more decorations, some variations that we can put on the front of the building and in other places throughout the building. But we'll see. We'll just see what it has in store for us, in the upcoming days. So thank you very much for coming out. Thank you for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you liked it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of it. If there's any other ideas you might have for decorations, or just how you've gone about doing this event. We'd love to hear from you. Once again, thanks for stopping by, and hope to see you in the next episode.